Hey guys, Rachele here with Amethyst Ascension. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you so much for joining me again. So today I wanted to do a hashtag. This hashtag was started by the lovely April over at Tarot and Witchery channel. And the hashtag is called hashtag deck FOMO. And I figured while I was doing that, I would do a flip through of my newest deck that I've received. Well, actually, that's not true. It's not the newest. I got the She-Wolf a couple of days after this one. But I wanted to show this one. This was a Kickstarter. I got a coin with it. A little pin. There was a sticker sheet. I forgot to bring that down. A pretty pin. And I think it's supposed to be a bookmark along with the deck. And this is called the Baroque Tarot, and it's by Lamucci Design, and it's lamuccidesign.com. And here is the box. There's a lot of gold gilding on it, and it is a magnetic box. The inside says, this deck calls the user to care for their soul with much love, to open their heart and mind to learn their lessons and better themselves, and to have faith that all will unravel as it should. So let's get into the first question. The first question, and there's 7 questions, and I will be putting a link down below to April's original video. Here's the backs, by the way. Beautiful, aren't they? And it's gilded. It's a lot of gilding. But okay, let me make sure. Okay, so get a little bit bigger for you. There we go. So what triggers deck FOMO for you? So for me, I mean, I think definitely more in the beginning I had fear of missing out because I seen so many really cool decks, but now I don't feel that too much. I think the thing that really triggers FOMO for me would be like, you know, a limited edition run or a Kickstarter, something that I really, really love, because I mean, I have to see it in my practice in order to use it, or something that I'm going to learn off of, or, you know, has a certain theme to it, or what have you. But for me, yeah, it's probably because I have had a couple of decks that are no longer in print that I have wanted and I didn't get when they were in print, because I thought, oh, you know, it's fine. I can always pick that up later, or there'll be more for sale, or I just didn't have the money at the time in order to do it. So I would say definitely it's more like your indie decks and the ones that are like limited runs or something like that. That's what triggers it for me. But, you know, like I said on the interview that I just did a couple of days ago over on Julie Peekaboo Rose channel, I really don't, now that I have as many decks as I do, I don't really, I guess I don't feel that so much anymore. Because I feel like I already have any deck to fill any kind of spot that could be used in my spiritual practice. So I don't really feel that too much, unless I'm just really in love with the art, or I think that it's going to enhance my practice in a way that I don't already have that. And if I do already have it, then it's something that I just really, really love the artwork. So question number 2 is, what is a FOMO deck purchase that you regret? Okay, so let me just say that I have gotten decks that I thought I was really going to connect with, and I thought that the art was really cool, or really beautiful, or even in a haunting kind of beautiful way, or that I thought I was going to like the system, or what have you. Because I have passed along probably anywhere from 35 to 40 decks now. One of the first ones that I remember getting, and I really wanted to have it. I don't know if it was a fear of missing out. It was just of, of wanting to incorporate it into my practice, or bring a different flavor to, what I did. And that was the Hush Tarot. Because I seen other people that just really, really, I'm sorry, Oliver? Okay, sorry, I had to put the dogs up, put them upstairs. So, I watched other people with the Hush Tarot, and I really wanted to love it. And the artwork was really cool, but the whole concept of the deck, I just don't think at the time I was ready for it. So I did pass that along. Same with like the Santa Morta. What other ones? I really wanted to like the, is it Crystal Visions? I think it's Crystal Visions. I really wanted to like that one too. And the Cosmic Tarot, or Cosmic Tarot. The one with like the 70s characters on there, or they look like 70s people. I swear one looks like Alyssa Milano. But anyways, I passed them along to other people just because it just didn't feel right to me. There was so many other decks that I loved so much more than that I kept. But do I regret any of them? I really don't. I don't regret anything that I have purchased and sent it along to somebody else, because even though they were not right for me, it put me in a position to pass it along to somebody else that it was the right fit for. So it's only money, and I know that's probably easy for me to say because, we have a very abundant life. My husband makes pretty good money, so I don't really want for anything. I'm very grateful and in a state of abundance rather than a state of lack. So I don't ever look at anything that I've purchased and, move it along as a regretful thing. So no regrets. Question 3, how do you set limits? Well, the things that I look at for me are, first of all, I love the artwork. Do I love the artwork enough that I'm going to pull it? Because I have so many decks now. Is it, an artwork that I'm actually going to use? Because I like utilizing what I have. That doesn't always mean reading with it. It can be something that's for learning, or just like because I love the pictures, or, anything. So I don't look at it like, as a collector, I don't feel that collecting is a bad word. Let's put it that way. I feel like there's a bad stereotype on collecting, and I don't look at it like it's a bad thing. I mean, a lot of people collect a lot of different things. I just like collecting tarot decks, but I also like to utilize those. So does that mean that you're not a collector if you utilize it? No, I don't think so. I think a collector is a collector is a collector. So anyways, that's probably a different hashtag, right? Other limits that I look at is I buy within my means. And we have pretty good means. So if I do use a credit card, it gets paid off what I used it for at the end of every month. I'm not going into more debt with these purchases because, as I said, we live a pretty abundant life. So if it became a problem where I really couldn't afford these things that I was coveting, yeah, that would be an issue. And then the other thing that I look at for limits is my space, allotted space. If anything, that's what I'm running out of, is a lot of allotted space for these particular things, because they're starting to take over different areas of my house. But for me, I like to organize, and it actually helps me de-stress when I organize stuff. So if I come upon a limitation like that, then it's time to reorganize. And I like doing that too. So, but that would be space, financial, and, whether or not I think I'm going to be able to work with something. So those are my limits. How many decks do I have is number 4. I have roughly 90 oracle decks and 90 tarot decks, roughly around that. I don't have the numbers exactly because I haven't added the last little bit into my journal thing, which I have to do that. But I'm guessing roughly about 180 decks is what I have. Let's see. Question number 5. How many decks do you need? I don't need any decks. I have lived, 47 years without tarot in order to get through life. I don't need any decks. I don't think anybody truly needs any decks. So for me, and if you were doing it for a business and you needed it for that, I could see only needing 1 deck. Definitely not needing, or let's say 2 decks. 1 oracle, 1 really good oracle that you love using, and 1 tarot deck that you love using. But I think that is very limiting. And I also think that's a personal preference, because if somebody wants to collect a deck and they are happy with that deck, I am joyous with them. I love that, because I feel like when I see somebody that has a large collection, even a modest collection, I feel like they are living in abundance, and I am happy that they are living in abundance. I don't think life always has to be so difficult, and everything pretty much, or so many aspects of our lives are difficult. If we have the ability to find joy in something like this, and it's also useful and you could make money from it and have a career if you needed to in a pinch, I say go for it. So I think that answered it. I think you don't need any. I don't personally need any. To be a tarot reader, 1 deck. 6. What is a positive deck purchase from FOMO? Well, like I said, I don't know as if it's really fear of missing out or just a desire to have a certain deck in my collection, to be able to work with it. When I am thinking about purchasing a new deck, I am thinking about, how am I going to use this? Is this going to enrich my spiritual practice? Is it going to take up more room? Is it going to get used or not used? Is it something that I'm collecting just because I love the artwork? Does it have a good guidebook? Because I could see myself even buying something just for the guidebook if the guidebook was good enough. That's why I think that walkthroughs and reviews are invaluable to me. So, but I stock a deck for a long time usually before I purchase something, so that I know whether or not it's going to be a good fit for me. I have not always done that, especially in the beginning I didn't. But now I feel like I definitely do. There's the book. I don't know if I had showed you. Okay, so, but a positive one of FOMO. One, I will say one that I really desired, that I wanted really, really bad. And if I had not got it, would I be disappointed now? So maybe that's a better question for me in regards to FOMO, would be like the Bone, Stone, and Earth Flesh, because that's not available, you know, anywhere else. It's out of print. I wished that I would have been able to. Oh, see, look at this Four of Swords. I cannot stand these damn Four of Swords. How does that look like take a rest? That looks like a funeral to me. Or maybe if you don't take a rest, you're going to end up in your own funeral. I don't know. I just don't mess with that. But anyways, I love the artwork. The Bone, Stone, and Earth Flesh. I love that deck so much. And I mean, after I got it, I would not put it down for the longest time. And the only reason I put it down now is because I want to use some of my other decks. But it is incredibly powerful and evocative artwork, and the book is equally brilliant. And so if I had not got that deck, and I mean, I watched the newsletter and I was very, like on top of it, making sure that as soon as it was available, I could get it. I know a lot of people were upset about that, but I wasn't there in the beginning, so I can't really talk about all that. But I am grateful. I am very grateful that I have that deck and that I didn't miss out. But another one that I really want is the Tarot of Delphi, and it's out of print. So it's stuff like that that causes FOMO for me. So I don't want to miss out of something that I am possibly just going to love so much. So, and then the last question, number 7. What are my thoughts on the current state of deck FOMO in our community? Well, for me, listen, if a person is really like in a financial bind, and or just, they've got a budget and they cannot afford a deck and it's calling out to them, and it's too harsh for them, meaning because they can't afford it and it's causing turmoil, I feel for them. I have been there. I definitely have been there. And I do feel for that person. But I love what Gerald always puts, Tarot Stash Gerald, know your limits, hashtag know your limits, and purchase responsibly. That's pretty much how I feel about knowing what your own limits are, whether or not it's something that you can afford or whether or not it's something that you can't. And if that's something that you really want, then, I say, reevaluate maybe what job you're doing if you need to make more money, or promote yourself, your tarot, or whatever, so that you can make more money to support your tarot habit. But when somebody shows me that they have like a new deck and they're happy about it, I'm just so full of joy for them. But I'm also the kind of person, like when I watch like Family Feud or Jeopardy or The Wheel of Fortune with my husband, and somebody wins, they win a whole bunch of money, I am just like so happy for them. I'm like, yes, I'm like, you go with your bad self, that's right. So when I see somebody living abundantly and getting some joys out of life, whether it's a tarot deck or whether it's a crystal or whatever, I'm all for that. I think there's therapy in that. And so I'm more, let's see, with the community. I guess I got a little off track here. Sorry about that. But so if it's not in your budget, or you don't have the room, or then maybe know what your own limits are and don't watch certain videos. You know what I mean? It shouldn't stop other people from being able to make videos. It's not anybody else's responsibility to curb your addiction, so to speak. You know, I think we have to be accountable for what our limits are and know what they are and go from there, I guess. You know, but in general, unless that person really truly thinks it is FOMO, fear of missing out, and they're feeling turmoil from it, I mean, my heart goes out to them, because I have been there many times. And life is ever changing, you know? But if somebody is looking at it like people are purchasing for a fear of FOMO, or fear of missing out, I should say, and that's not even the case, but somebody thinks that they are just by what they see, you know, on YouTube or in a TikTok or whatever. If somebody just assumes because somebody has so much and they're purchasing all the time that that's why they're doing it, I think that's kind of just being judgmental, honestly. I don't think that anybody really truly knows what somebody else, their inner feelings, unless they are sharing their inner feelings. So, you know, I just say let people do whatever it is that they want. Let them be responsible for what they do, and what other people do in their practice or in their collection or whatever is really none of my business. I just, in general, I want people to be happy and fulfilled in their lives. And if that means buying a new deck that they can possibly use, and if they don't end up using it and passing it along to somebody else or selling it, then they experience that and then they can move on. You know, it's only money. We can always make money again. So that's pretty much how I feel about that. And this was the Baroque Tarot. And this is by, oh yeah, I already said, Lamucci Design. So I know I've kind of rambled a little bit, and I apologize for that, but thank you, April, for this very fun and interesting hashtag, and I am sending you guys love always. Thank you.